Welcome, everybody. John Zager. Good morning. Hope everybody is fine. Let's see. It's a beautiful morning here in Colorado. I'm sitting here and the trees are in bloom. No, not bloom. They're all budded. Actually, those trees are all turning green. Those are blooming right there. There's a whole bunch of them. The ones that bloom white. I forget what they call those. Boy, those are pretty. Spring's here. Yesterday we were in the low 70s, I believe. Last night it was warm. Today, same thing. Blue sky, no clouds. Looking forward to a really good day. Good morning, everybody. Good golly, good morning. I got a free cup of coffee this morning. They were not taking cards. I usually put everything on my debit card, so they just gave me a free coffee. Yay! That's all part of that $100 if you guys have been paying attention. So, good topic again today. We're going to talk about some different steps that are required in self-healing and how that whole process kind of works. So here's the first one's always a little difficult to talk about. But when you talk to people who have self-healed, this is one that comes up a lot of the time, if not all the time. There's a being greater than yourself inside of you, a greater intelligence, a creator, and acknowledgement of, there's something that's keeping me going, that's keeping me running, that's keeping everything working properly in the magnitude that it does. And I acknowledge that, and I know that. And it's my job to communicate with it. Now, I know that sounds a little weird, a little strange, but, bear with me on this. There's no man, human, on the face of the earth that can sustain all of your systems and keep you alive. No natural person, right? So we're talking supernatural. We're talking, a God. Some people refer to this as God, Creator, the universe. It's who made you, right? So what they go on to say, and this is my study. I know there's other people with other studies that are similar to this, but this is me going around just talking to people who have self-healed. And this is where I agree with the other people that are doing this, is that, if there's a greater intelligence that created you and sustains you, then maybe if you could communicate with it, you can ask it to fix you. Yeah? That sounds good. And again, a lot of people are learning how to do this. Learning how to communicate with this greater intelligence. That's one of the steps that happens. A second step in my conversations with people who have self-healed is that they had to every day get up. And again, this is under the premise that if you can make yourself sick through thoughts, you can make yourself well through thoughts. You kind of have to be on board in this whole program and accept that premise, right? So every morning when they would get up, they realized that who they were wasn't working. And who they were got them sick. So every morning when they got up, every single moment of that day, they needed to block all of the negative, unhealthy thoughts that kept them in the old belief systems. Boy, that's clear. I'll say that one more time. So they needed to block all the negative, unhealthy thoughts, right, that kept them in the old belief system. So whether it be, I don't know, for some people it could be every minute, but every few minutes, every couple times an hour, a few times an hour. I don't know. It's different for different people. It's basically how severe, those neurons have been hardwired together and how much is there. But, you need to stop that stuff and prune apart the neurons that had become hardwired and caused you to, upregulate all those nasty diseased genes and cells. So you need to stop yourself every time you have that thought. And probably when you first get up in the morning for a few hours, I would suspect, you're going to be saying, stop, 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 stop quite a bit. Yeah? And then as you get going through your day, you start changing and becoming a little more enlightened, and you're not having to stop as many negative, unhealthy, old beliefs. That's the second thing they talked about. The third part just goes hand in hand with that one. If you're going to stop those old beliefs, then all of a sudden you have a void. Right? There's a gap. There's nothing there. When I used to counsel for compulsive disorders, addictions of whatever, when I did the clinical stuff, we found out just having those beliefs stop could get a person to slow down or not use anymore for a period of time. But they always went right back because it was a void. And the void had to be filled with something positive in order for them to sustain non-use, right? So as we talked about, I don't know, yesterday or whenever it was, the 12-step program's great because it fills the void and, the people go on and use that as the positive. I'm not so sure. I think it's great, but, there's a point in time after everything becomes hardwired, after several years, I suppose. I'm not sure you need to keep going back and doing that. So the third step is, you've got to replace the negative, unhealthy behaviors, belief systems that you have with healthy belief systems. Now, this next part is kind of pros and cons. Some people say, affirmations don't work. Some people say affirmations do work. I think it's okay in the beginning to make some affirmations so that you're aware of positive belief systems that you're putting in place. Do you need to use them all the time? I don't know. Probably not. But I think early on, as you're transitioning and trying to get new neuron connections and everything hardwired, I don't think there's anything wrong with affirmations, positive affirmations. And there's programs all over the internet. Just turn them on and they'll walk you through it, the guided affirmation meditations. So, that's kind of important, is putting stuff in the void there and changing your belief systems, right? None of this is genetic. Remember that, that's way back in early classes, all right? It's all beliefs and perceptions. And here's what happens, and this is stuff you guys know, but I'll go through it anyway, is that we as humans have a tendency to not believe everything. It might be a little more than our brain can handle. I can't get a grasp on that. Are you telling me that traditional medicine probably is not going to work as well as neuroscience? Newtonian as opposed to quantum physics, right? See the opposites and all that? And so we get through the program, and let's say whatever our disease, illness, sickness, emotional thing happens to be, it goes away for a period of time. Short period of time, not a long period of time. And then it comes back. Yeah? So if it worked for a little while, why would you not let it work longer? Did you stop your meditations? Did you think, everything's fine? Did you not give it enough time for the neurons to hardwire? Remember, the old belief system took years and years and years for those neuron connections to hardwire. I'm not suggesting you need to spend years and years and years on this, the positive stuff to hardwire. But I'm suggesting that we need to stay current. We need to, every day for a long enough period of time, and that's different for different people, we need to get up every morning and block all of that negative stuff that comes in. Thoughts, belief systems. And I don't think it's a week that you do that. I don't think it's a month that you do that. I think you have to work on that for a long enough period of time that you feel a little more comfortable and your personality has changed. Yeah? I think you meditate for a long enough period of time that it becomes second nature almost for you. There's so many benefits to meditating. Oh my gosh. I went into the doctor yesterday for a yearly physical, and through my meditation, when you look at heart rate and stuff, boy, mine dropped. I can't even feel my heart. There were times in the past, before I became someone else, right, that, I used to get angry and upset, and, just screw up my immune system, and make my life terrible and attract disease. And I run into a stressful situation today, and I can't feel my heart. It's so quiet and calm. My personality's different. People don't know who I am. People, what's going on? Did you do something? You know, they can't put their finger on what's different. Well, your personality, how you think, act, and feel, right? Dr. Joe Dispenza stuff changes. But if we don't keep up the work, it comes back. The disease comes back, the sickness, the illness, the emotional problems, they all come back. I don't know, when was it, a day or two, 3 days ago, we were talking about happiness or something, and happiness is how this is my, I don't know, personal thought. I think we're all supposed to be happy. But we're not happy. We have to work at it. What's that about? We need to work at all this stuff in order to become a different person, self-heal, not worry about disease and illness, not live a life of lack, all that kind of stuff. So there's certain things that people that do self-heal have in common. And there's steps that they go through in their self-healing. The fourth part is what we've just been talking about, I guess, is, they become another person. They block everything, then they put positive stuff in place. Then the last step that I hear them talking about in common is, they're a different person. They're not who they used to be. Just as I was saying a few minutes ago, I remember the day when I was pretty uncomfortable with how I was living my life. And in turn, of course, not good things were happening to me in a lot of different ways. And as my personality changed, as I became a different person, my life improved. And illness and disease went away. Now, that's not to say that it's not going to come back if I don't work the program. Remember, we just mentioned that. I don't know when the neuron connections, the new neuron connections hardwire. I don't know how long that takes. I'm, I guess, not a scientist in terms of knowing that. I'll go research that and see if I can pull out some information for you guys. But just wanted to refresh everybody on some of the common things that happen to people that self-heal and how easy it may be to lose all that and fall back into the disease, and how we can maintain it and become another person and be healthy and happy. So anyway, good little podcast. Important information to think about. Maybe some things that we get lax on when we're working a program. this is a place where, advertisement. This is a place where coaching counts and works. When I was an athlete, younger, gosh darn, I worked my skills all the time and became very good. Became better when I started realizing I needed a coach. Not the coach of the team or that kind of thing, but an outside coach. I needed somebody to encourage me, give me guidance, some wisdom, kick in the butt, some enlightenment, some knowledge, things like that, coaching. And it worked. And then I learned that I could get coaching for anything, no matter what it was. If it wasn't sports, it might be education. I can go out and get a coach to become a little more astute with my education. So anyway, the advertisement obviously is that I would love to coach you. That doesn't have to go on forever and ever, but call me up, text me, track me down, send me some kind of a message by courier, pigeon, or something that you would like some coaching for a period of time, and let's talk about what your needs are. It just bridges the gap from being good to excellence. So anyway, I'm out there and I hope you guys have a great day today. I'm looking forward to today. I'm excited about today. God bless everybody, and I'm looking forward to talking to you guys all again real soon. Thanks a lot. Bye.